first to pop it. Now I can actually don't reach it. So slow sequence there without the sound. So turn it on. Make sure we're in. See the lights on the back. They're moving faster because of the sound. Around. Turn off. Turn off. And that's it. Hello, so one last piece of video to sign off the project. In the last clip you saw, I was wearing the non-distressed version of the pack. Now, I was fully intending to make it look like it's more like it was left over in a cupboard somewhere from 1984. So what I've done to my pack now, I've added some distressing to it. So I'm going to go through some of the distress on the pack itself, explain how I did it, and maybe you might want to use it in your own packs if you are not scared, because it is quite a step to take a nice cleanly painted, using the truck bed liner, the satin sprays and everything like that, and then suddenly just making it look like crap. So but it makes it, I don't, from my perspective, I've always been a big Star Wars fan and very much into the used universe ethic, where if something's being used over and over again, it's going to get bashed, it's going to get scratched. So I'm just going to show you around my pack and show you what I actually used. So just starting from the top, you'll notice a few little dings and scratches. Some of these, because like the with the Ben of Kent kit, this tube is actually, I think it's aluminium. I could be wrong, but I think that's aluminium. And in this case, because it's not the motherboard on the back, I just sprayed it with some satin spray and just let, you know, the dings and scratches. See, look, I can do it now. See, I'm going to add another bit of scratch to it. So I'm just thinking over time that we could just, it'll get scratched. I like the scratches. I did actually add a bit of like weathering over the top. And the weathering I actually used is some, I think you pronounce it Vallejo. I could be wrong. Any of your model makers out there, I used some Vallejo engine oil, acrylic paint. This is like engine oil, and I think there was some rust as well, if I remember rightly. Is that the rust? I think that's the rust. Yes, that's the rust. So a bit of rust, weathering effects to the actual paint job. I know a lot of people have used things like Fuller's Earth. I'm very much into using, and a lot of my other builds, the acrylics, the brown acrylics. In the UK you get a lot of cheap packs from B&M and Home Bargains, some tubes. When I mix black and certain colours of brown to kind of make it look dirty. But there's a few things on here. So some of the dirt, some of the brown stuff, this is all the kind of the engine oil and the mud and the rust from here. So the resistors on here, did just a touch on there. Still haven't got this kink out of there, but never mind. Same with this iron arm. I just painted this satin, then just went over it and scraped it with a few bits and pieces from my fingernail down to some sandpaper. Because the undercoat, I mean, there's one good thing, because the undercoat for the Ben of Kent was actually grey. Even if you sprayed it over the top and you scuffed it off a bit, you'll get the grey undercoat, which looks, you know, fairly close to the silver. I did actually go over it with a silver permanent marker as well, just to touch up some of the areas. There is some distressing at the back there, and some of this kind of flecking across where the truck bed liner is. Because the truck bed liner has a bit of texture to it, I just scarily went over it with some sandpaper, and the sandpaper just takes that edge off it and just gives it a bit of texture. Even though you could quite easily leave the labels looking pristine. These are the Ben of Kent labels I got with the kit. I went over them with a bit of the engine oil, scuffed them up a little, even if they're, you know, hanging off, which is kind of authentic. I know some of you out there have got the aluminium ones, which I'm sure you could add some dirt and scuff and detail to that, but I quite like the peeling off. I did find when I got the vinyl stickers, they didn't adhere very well to the truck bed liner, so I had to use some super glue to actually keep them on. So be aware of that. Other areas here, I did add some rust to age some of the metal parts. So the washers, also the frame here. Also gave the ribbon cable a bit of a wash, so that's a little bit grimy. As well as taking note of some like older things, I did actually look at the Spengler pack. I didn't want to go too over the top yet with the Spengler modifications, but I have looked at the Spengler pack, and this particular part did notice it's it turned very silver. So maybe this part, until we properly see it, it might look more and more silver than the rest of the parts, maybe because it's, you know, aging due to heat or something like that. Again, some of these ends here, just went over them. In a lot of cases I did go over it with the sandpaper. All the metal made it add some of that rust, the Vallejo rust, to make it look like it's several years old. I think it's a good texture. You can see in the texture in the corner, and right in the close corner there, it looks quite good. Just added a bit of rust on there. There is, even going back to some of my earlier videos, I've still got the scratch on there from when I was testing there, just the scratches and things, so that's there. Again, looking at the Spengler pack, a lot of the plastic tubing is very worn and dark, particularly around the edges. So I will give it another pass. The bumper, going over the bumper with a bit of sandpaper just to take the edge off. Silver pen and some of the engine oil. Same here. Still again, it is quite scary taking sandpaper to your pack, but it does, in my in my opinion, on my side of things, it does look quite cool. More rust on the hex bolts around there, going down to the pack, so down to the bottom. I did add a little bit of dirt to the shock mount. I did add some dirt to this part, and same at the bottom. I thought this is really, I give it a really good bit of dirt over the top of that, because it's probably, it would be, if the pack was being put down a lot of times, it would contact the ground, contact the other places that it hit the floor first. Do think about it when you're actually adding dirt and grime. Think about where and how that grime occurs. You can imagine all the raised edges from the anything that stands out would actually get caught. Inside of here, maybe some of there. I need to add a bit more grime to my back plate. I am going to match up. I have touched up my Spengler wand a bit, so I painted that silver. added a bit of grime on the edges here. I think I'm also going to darken down the handle. I might dirty up a bit of the area around here. I did, as I said before in some of my other videos, I did offset those very similar to the Spengler style instead of having them straight. A bit more rust on there. I think I might have mentioned it on forums and things, but I did drill a hole a bit further in, so the screw in that is actually indented inside there. This edge, if it was being placed on the floor, it would get caught a bit. Same as the edges on the motherboard around the edge. If it was dropped on the side, I mean obviously you don't want to drop your own thing, you don't pack on the side, but you want to make it appear like you've dropped it on the side. So a few more rusty bits, bit of dirt, bit of silver pen. But for the moment I think the pack is complete. So I hope you've found my journey interesting and the videos that I've put out. If you want to message me, just message me on YouTube, or we can chat in forums. I'm happy to help. Always remember though, I don't think I did it the best way. There are other methods, and everybody's got ways of building their packs. Everybody's got the right screws to put in the right places. Me, I just did what seemed to fit at the time because I like to rush into things. But maybe something from any of my videos might be useful in your further endeavours to create your own packs. And Ben of Kent, absolutely, the pack quality is absolutely amazing. So thankful for Ben for the actual, opportunity to have one of his kits, because this was an absolute joy to build. Okay, so as I say, this pack, Proton pack only, attached with the Spengler wand. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found some part of this useful. Take care everybody. Bye bye.